Okay, everybody be cool.
Okay, we're live.
We're live, everybody. It is the Brian McCarthy interview show. Of course, I am here with Adam Hineker. And if you're watching on YouTube or maybe even Facebook. That's also a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening, welcome to the podcast. If you are on the podcast and you want, hold on, let's get a pen.
Give them all.
All right.
Really lay out all the options.
Here's the thing. There's something called a token ring, TCP/IP protocols. Now, if you can find. If you're listening and you're like, oh, I wish I could.
If you're listening.
If you're with.
You're tuned into the Quiet Storm.
Love someone you're with. If you are, you can go over to YouTube and that you can find that at Brian McCarthy Interview Show on YouTube. And then, of course, if you're on YouTube and you're like, this is bullshit, all of the socials are Brian M. Show. TikTok, Instagram. I feel like a douchebag saying all of the socials, but I don't really know how else to say it.
Yeah, those are right at the bottom on the ticker there.
And it's all on the ticker.
YouTube at Brian M. Show. Smash the like button.
Smash like, subscribe. It only takes a second, and it really helps the algorithm. And if you're watching, we're at Mar-a-Lago today, so shout out Proud Boys. You are patriots, one and all, and your day will come when you are freed from the shackles of democratic tyranny. So we just want to put that out there right at the top of the show. Just say, and also Hamas, keep it up. All right, that's it. So
keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work with all your tunnels and all your, listen, nobody can.
all your tunnels.
Yeah, all your tunnels.
Things
and
of that nature.
Yeah, exactly. No one can blame you, guys. That's what I think. That's what I'm here to say. It was making me think about, I actually looked for her the other day, that my first girlfriend in New York.
Okay.
Sigalit Sassoon.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where
I know. Which one of my many first girlfriends?
No, I was wondering the association between first girlfriend and Hamas.
Well,
she's Israeli.
She's Israeli.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes
sense. Yeah, when I first moved to New York, in the winter of '77, I didn't have a job, so I'd walk around looking for a job to go into like restaurants and stuff. And I went into this fucking cafe, and I went to the front door. There was a counter, and there was a girl working there. And I was like, "Hi, I can't imagine that this girl looked at me like, I must have been attractive back then or something, because I would have been, I was like, hi, I just moved to New York. I don't have any money and I need a job at this bakery. I'm a boy I need a job at like young Ben Franklin wandering the streets of Philadelphia, just eating a loaf of bread and with my tri-cornered hat on. And so this girl was like, Sigalit.
That's how you met Sigalit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So she was like, here's my phone number, which had to be a fucking landline. And she was like, and I remember she said, I don't know. I know of a job. So I don't know. I was kind of like, okay, great. So I ended up like calling her, and I went to her apartment. She lived on the Upper West Side. She had a roommate who's Israeli, who was a guy. He was not thrilled that I was there. Because I guarantee that he thought her desert pussy was his and his alone. And I didn't even really know. I don't know. It was one of those instances where she was really pretty. I had never very dark, a swarthy desert girl.
Yeah.
And
they can be hot.
Yeah, she was definitely. Look, I was barely 18, so I guess that's excuse enough that I fucked it up. But
it was like a Meatloaf song.
Yeah, exactly right. Gonna go away tonight. Baba ganoush, Baba ganoush, Baba ganoush, Baba ganoush. So I got together with her, and then almost immediately, I don't know. We were I tried to make out with her. She let me, and before you know it,
right?
I don't know. It was that was what we were doing.
She didn't protest.
She didn't protest. And that's always my message to young people. If you make your shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never fucking
Sure.
You never know how it might go. It might go the way you want, and if it doesn't, at the very least, now you know.
Right.
And then you can just pull back and be like, "Oh, I didn't know you were as cold. You were a cold fish."
Yeah.
And then you run out the door over a.
Yeah. Well, you want to accuse them of being a lesbo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's usually what you want to do when you're faced with rejection.
I run at the door of her apartment. I slip on a big pile of fig leaves. I'm like, no. So turbans everywhere, just totally
army
fucking
fatigues.
Army, yeah. Well, she had
gotta
funny. She had just gotten out of the army.
Wow, that is fucking impressive. I mean, I worked with a girl that was, probably 27 that had already done a couple of years.
Yeah, I
very
think,
impressive.
Yeah, the rule is I don't know the length of the term, but you have to do service a year or two or something. And she was a little older than I was, and she did her service, and that was that. But yeah. So anyway, so it made me think. But then of course I got on Facebook, and I was like, let me see if I can find Sigalit Sassoon. But like, we're talking about this is over. Way over 30. This is fucking 32 years ago. So like,
yeah.
She could look like. I mean, I don't know. I could put it this way. There's lots of Sigalit Sassoons on Facebook.
Okay, it's a common name.
Yeah, the name Sigalit is a fairly common first name. But I either maybe I didn't find her, and of course, if you type in Sigalit Sassoon, you try to give little keywords. I dated her for 2 months in 1991.
Deli counter.
Yeah. Bakery gal. Showed me doggy style.
Had roommate.
Yeah, had roommate who would smoke cigarettes and mutter in Hebrew every time I came over to the house.
Boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, she's so cute. Oh man, I should have stuck around and should have got more couple rides on that carousel.
Hell yeah.
Oh well, but what are you gonna do? I mean,
yeah. Do you think you could maintain? I could never maintain probably a relationship with a woman like that.
Well,
I feel like I'm not enough of a man.
She was. Listen, I will tell you this. I
own power tools, and I don't feel like I'm enough of a man.
She was very, very sweet. She was really nice.
Sweet
Sigalit. She was nice to me because, look, I didn't have anything to offer. I mean, what do I have? I was 18.
Sure.
I had like a twin bed that was on a mattress on a floor. My roommate was a South African Roto-Rooter man.
You were 19. How old were you?
I was barely 18.
Barely 18.
I was
and
18
you were barely dressed.
She's only 17.
Right.
By the way, if your daughter, one of my daughters is about to turn 17. I was singing "She's Only 17" to her. A little inappropriate.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I mean, she doesn't know the song though.
Yeah, it's almost worse if you don't know the song. Like I told her,
if you're like putting one on.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, my daughter doesn't know this is about.
She doesn't even know.
Underage. Yeah, jailbait. But yeah. Anyway, so so she was very nice. But I think look, I fucked it up because I immediately had gotten into this play, the co-ed prison sluts play, and I was still ostensibly dating Maria back in Baltimore. I really, for a guy that had nothing going on, I had a fair amount going on.
Quite a bit going on.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so how are you doing? Everything good?
Yeah, great.
Okay, good. Yeah,
great.
So, big news on the show business front for me. We didn't do a show last week because of the holiday. Sorry about that. Hope nobody killed themselves. And if you did, I guess we're not going to know about it.
Had an incident with the gravy.
Hopefully you weren't a Patreon person because we need all those we can get. But what have you had an incident with the? Oh yeah, okay. I thought you
great.
Yeah.
That was why we didn't do the show.
Yeah, I know. Adam,
it's not thickening.
Adam showed up. Yeah, exactly.
Or cornstarch.
You do not. You put any more. Yes. What's that yellow? It comes in a yellow can. It's like gravy helper.
Cornstarch, I think, right?
Yeah, but there's actually a product. It's a liquid.
Is it to thicken?
Yeah. Well, it's no.
Oh.
It's like a
gravy. It's called gravy helper.
Could be
Brian
right.
McCarthy's
gravy helper. That's what I call a thumb up my shit pipe.
Right.
Yeah. Help the gravy come out, mommy.
Oh, here comes the gravy.
Here comes the gravy. Oh, so it burns so much.
Make
it
it a roux. Make it a roux.
Make bubbles with your mouth. Make cum bubbles for daddy. No, she. It's like a little. It's not powder. It's like it's kind of like stock. It's like a concentrated.
Got you.
It might be called. I think it's called gravy helper. I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't.
Sweet.
And our Thanksgiving, I don't make the gravy. Jocelyn's aunt Pip makes the gravy.
Aunt Pip makes the
Aunt
gravy.
Pip makes the gravy. Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Aunt Pip said something funny to me when we were in the kitchen. Because she noticed, with this Ozempic, I've lost, a fair amount of weight.
Yeah.
And she looked at me in the kitchen. She's British. And she goes, "You completely have lost your ass. You have no ass."
I've heard that's a thing with Ozempic.
Well, I didn't have much to begin with, so it wasn't.
Yeah, well, I think that's actually probably better because they say like Ozempic ass is if it just sort of loses its shape and it just kind of sags. So if you don't have, if you're a guy, you don't have a lot of a butt, there's no,
mine's
you're
pretty
not dragging
saggy.
it around.
Mine's pretty. I think
yeah?
I may have. I don't have Ozempic face, but I didn't have much to begin with.
Ozempic ass.
But it's like, yeah, it definitely is like saggy. I was looking at it right before you got here. I was naked.
Okay.
In the bathroom.
Wow.
No, I was naked in the bathroom, and I was. Ever since she said that, I become a little like conscious of whether or not my ass is saggy or not. But it wasn't like I had a great ass to begin with, so I'm not that. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It wasn't like it wasn't leading. Wasn't my best feature. I don't even know what my best feature is, but you know, it's kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10, I think my ass went from like a 5 to a 3.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's not. That's
no,
not
it's
too
fine.
bad.
I mean, it's not like anybody would ever go, oh man, that Brian
Look at
McCarthy
that. Oh.
has a great ass.
I can't even fathom. Like I'm so. I mean,
You have
we're,
a nice
we're
ass.
so. Oh, thank you.
You do. It's juicy.
I mean, I guess I'll take it. I appreciate that. But
Go ahead.
I've gotten a fair amount of male attention.
With your butt? Oh, I can tell you about that one too. No, but yeah. Well, because I think with and women like a guy with a nice ass. It is a thing you hear about, but I think a guy's nice ass, they don't want to see like a badunkadunk.
Oh, did I tell you? I told you
ahead.
about the girl that I went on. It was like one of the last dates I went on, I think, before I met my current girlfriend. I actually went on a date with a girl that wanted a guy with like a butt, and she was also very she was like dominating.
Okay.
Like
So
she was like,
so she wanted to put stuff in that butt?
I think and she, so it was our first date, well, first and only date. And we're at a bar in Brooklyn, and she was like telling me, oh, I want a guy with a butt or whatever. You know, we had a little buzz going, and I'm like, what
Like
what are we
side,
talking
like,
here,
yeah, like
right? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, I think I do. And I go, it was, probably 20 minutes into meeting her.
Okay.
I think this says something about kind of the dating climate
Right.
probably nowadays. I just went, do you want to let me just, and I just kind of went over and stood by her with my arm. So I'm like, just go ahead and give it a squeeze if you want.
let her, what a
Just let her
gentleman.
fucking grope my, and she fully did it. And was like, yeah, no, I'm looking. She's like, no, you're cool. I like you, but I'm looking for more than that. She wanted like a guy with fucking hips and
Like a womanly butt?
yeah,
Like
I
a
think,
guy with a womanly
with
can.
like a womanly butt, and that was very submissive. I mean, it was like
God.
maybe 2 hours into a date where I was like, yeah, this is not gonna. She was like an alpha female.
Was she hot?
She was attractive. She was like a reality show producer.
Okay.
And like she was exactly what you would expect when I say she was a reality show producer.
Do you think she wanted like a guy that would wear like a corset? Like
Probably. I think
okay.
she wanted all manner of
like
freakiness.
Oh God. Well, I mean, but I do know like women. If I would think about it, they want something that's muscular that protrudes a little bit, but
Maybe
you don't
I think
want.
you just want like kind of a shape, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
And I have seen, like, I think at this point, you could say without prejudice that I have a flat ass. I mean, but I think like when you see, like Patrick Swayze had a nice ass.
Okay.
It's a ridiculous conversation.
Yes.
Patrick,
It's like what I was about to say though, but was like because I and we are so ass obsessed, like female wise, I can't even fathom the idea. Like I see a man's ass and it's like an alien to me. Like it's not the right shape.
well,
It's
if I was gay,
even a good one, I'm like,
yeah.
does nothing for me.
And also, I'm not as ass crazy as other guys. Like the ass has been like the thing on a woman's body now for like over 10 years. It's like tits have. I know what happened to tits. Like
Listen, my thing. I'm on kind of a campaign of like, don't sleep on tits. I think we have taken tits for granted.
yes.
To the point where people think they can kind of go without.
Oh, no.
Because everybody's so ass
Right,
obsessed.
right.
But trust me, you'd miss them. I would miss them.
I also feel like I would much rather see a girl with like big tits versus a girl with like an overly sized ass. Like
Well,
that's
I like proportions.
right, but
Yeah,
it's
but-
very infrequently you're going to find somebody who has like put it this way. Most girls that have like a big ass, they're not going to have as big tits. They're just not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By what I mean, mostly. Because most of those girls, like they're Spanish or black or whatever it is, they don't tend to have like white girls tend to have like those big like natural hangers.
Big flapjacks.
Yeah, big flapjack,
Yeah.
big. But I feel like also what secretly boob jobs have gotten so good because it's like the ass implant is where the boob job was 30 years ago,
Right.
and now the boob job is so good that nobody even gets them anymore. It's like it's
Yeah.
it's like when you buy a house now, you don't notice that the house has air conditioning. Of course, it has air
Right.
conditioning.
It comes
Comes
all
central. You don't
central.
even-
It's just there's just a little
Yeah, you don't-
thermostat.
Yeah, you don't even think of zones even. So you don't even really you don't even really think about it. But I think it's funny because if you talk to a girl, about anything in a man's body, they always say like they do like some sort of an ass. But I'm with you. I don't really know what that means. But it like this woman, this reality show girl. It sounds like what she wants is some kind of.
She was fucking scrambled. This lady was fucking. I remember her asking me. She was like, when we were just texting before we had even met. She was like, "Are you cool with I like to smoke a little weed."
Okay.
And she was like, I think she used the word casually.
Okay.
She was trying to figure out if I was a square or not. And I'm like,
sure.
I mean, doesn't everybody kind of?
I like a jazz cigarette every
Sure,
now and then.
of course,
Sure,
a
baby.
little nip on the jazz cabbage.
I'll get on there.
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah, why not?
But I'm like, yeah, of course. Why?
I'm no Chet Baker, but I'll get in there.
What kind of a fucking square would I have to be if this day and age if I wasn't okay with that? I'd probably put that on the profile, like I'm Mormon or something.
Yeah.
But then when I showed up, she was like, she fucking smoked weed the entire. She was like one of those round the clock.
Oh boy.
Smoker people. She smoked weed the entire time. She was just vaping the entire time, and then like, I think took a break to go out and like smoke a joint, like an actual with the flower, and then it gradually escalated to like we should get some coke. I mean, this girl was fucking a party.
Yeah,
I mean, she was just an absolute disaster.
Be funny, like 2 hours into the day, she wheels in a gravity bong. Then she just starts eating a tray of brownies. You're like, how much more fucking pot are you gonna ingest? Right? She's just shooting up THC in her arm.
It fucking it escalated from the second we sat down.
Did you fuck her?
No, because this is how much of a disaster this girl was.
Okay.
We had bar hopped a little bit. It was one of the last times I got like really drunk.
Right.
And she was such a disaster that even at the end, she was like, listen, I think she broke down in like tears at one point.
Sure.
She was like a weird crying / angry drunk.
Yep.
And then she kind of gave me this speech at the end, like, listen, I'm trying not to do this anymore, but she had this whole story about how basically she didn't want to go home with guys on the first date.
Okay.
Because they never want to see her again. This is great, right? To get that speech. And then she gave me this whole thing about how she had like just done laundry.
Okay.
And so there was like laundry all over her house. So we couldn't go to her place. But she's like, I'm happy to go to your place, like right now.
Oh.
And she was as much of a disaster that I was like, I don't want her to know where I live.
Oh, wow.
And I don't want her in my house. Even and I was so drunk at that point that it was gonna be real. It was gonna be a chore to pull off.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she'd be upset you couldn't get hard.
Yeah. She was like, I was afraid of
couldn't get her out of your
what
house.
that would be like.
Yeah.
I feel like she would have critiqued me probably during it.
Yeah, although I have to, I don't know. I mean, I would have to say it's easy for me to say, being married as long as I have, and having as much sex as I don't have, like it's hard for me to imagine a universe where I would turn down.
Yeah. Believe me,
some
it's
sobbing pothead.
For me, I mean, even looking back on paper, I can't believe that I didn't do it.
It must have been. That's a real. That must have been.
But I was just going. She was like one of those people. And when I say like she's a reality show producer and that explains her personality, I really mean like she's one of those people that we would be meeting people at the bar and she had kind of a rap. Like she was always trying to sell herself to people and like kind of give her resume.
It's obnoxious.
It was very obnoxious. It was obnoxious enough that I turned down just
a sure
no
thing.
strings attached. And she was very my type. Like she was hot.
And also, like, she probably would, like, stay over, and then you'd have to, like, deal with that in the morning, and then, I don't know.
I'm
saying, like, you probably, look, ultimately, you made the right decision. I
probably.
mean,
who knows?
I mean,
we'll never know.
You'll never know. But it is funny how, like, even as fucked up as you were, there was some sort of internal flag where you're like, all right, you know what? Like, this is going to not.
Yeah, she was an absolute disaster. But I think it was also because she made it known she was looking for, like, a real long-term relationship.
Oh, boy.
So there was that.
Sounds
was
like she's on the
built
right
in.
track.
That was
sounds like she's she's making all the right moves.
Right. She just got to find the right sissy boy.
I just have she just
share
have to
her
date a sissy boy
studio
in
apartment with.
in a reggae band.
Oh man,
big fat dumper.
Yeah.
It's funny when my ex-girlfriend back in '99 when we broke up in June of '99, and then I met my wife like in August. So I was barely single, but for those
serial monogamy.
For those 2 months, I really laid waste to. I mean, I did as.
I can't even imagine a Brian McCarthy in the era, like the dating app era, would have been.
Oh, it would have been great. I know.
It would have been insane. I mean, you can set up multiple like hookups a night. I mean, you could have a whole queue.
Well, so this one night, because I used to live in Union Square, right across from Paragon. For those of you who fucking Broadway and 17th Street, right above a Chipotle. Although when I lived there, it was Ranch One Chicken. But anyway, it was at this loft with my roommate Desmond, who you have met. And so one night, I'm out and I'm by myself. I was with some friends, and I'm kind of walking home, and I stop at a bar on the way home, and it's like 3:45, and I go in the bar, and the place is, bars closing at 4, and I'm by myself, and there's this black girl who's like playing pool by herself. Ooh. And she comes over and she starts talking to me, and by the way, this is something that happens in New York and may happen in other cities, I don't know, but like I was talking to her. I mean, I was pretty fucked up, but whatever. I mean, I wasn't sloppy or anything, but I let it known. She was kind of like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm walking home." And sometimes
you have a home.
Yeah, you have a home. Oh, that's happened to me before.
Because like most of your stories where like strange women approach you,
they're homeless. Yes,
they don't have a mailing address, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, everything they own is with them.
Basically,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have like a 3-legged pit bull with an electrical cord, a leash,
stick with a hanky, polka dotted hanky,
right? A hobo,
cartoon,
Harriet hobo, cartoon homeless, right? Exactly. Brother, can you spare a dime? Yeah. How'd you meet your girlfriend? Oh, she was jumping out of a boxcar.
Right.
Yes. No. So this girl
eating out of foil.
But what I'm saying is to you is, and this is, where this bar was on, and I go, for those of you who don't live here, it's hard to say, but there's like NYU is kind of in that area sort of, and the Village goes right. I was like 10 minutes away from walking from my apartment, and this was like kind of a college bar. And so this girl did not go to NYU, and without being shitty about it, like she didn't fit the neighborhood demographic. So okay. I would almost there, and this has happened to me mainly with homeless girls, but where where a girl will like
unhoused.
They'll see like this girl was kind of like, all right, I'm on my way home.
Yeah,
she's by herself playing pool, whatever the fuck that is, and then all of a sudden I'm walking home. I bet it was kind of like, all right, if I go back with this guy to his apartment, it's something to do. And then in a couple of hours, I can take the train. It'll be safe to take the train. She may live in East New York. I know these are all neighborhoods that people don't know.
Because you're getting into like bar closed to kill some time till morning.
Or something like that.
Sun up.
Meeting somebody in New York who lives close to where they are is sometimes it's that can almost be enough. You know what I mean?
Huge. Yeah. Location is huge.
Right. So, for example, I mean, a lot of people, like the majority of people you'll meet out on a Friday night in, say, the meatpacking district, right? Which is in New York, it's a kind of a nightclub area for those of you who don't know. Like, if you meet somebody at a bar, they're not going to be like, oh, where do you live? I live in the meatpacking district.
Sure.
They usually live in Brooklyn, or they live, it's going to be 40.
I just remembered I missed my chance at a 3-way because of that, because of where I lived.
How do you mean?
I was in I was in a bar at one of my friend played in this band. I was there it was one of his gigs, and
was your friend Bob Seger?
Yeah.
Okay.
weird that you knew that.
Yeah.
And met these two girls that were there that were kind of like friends with the drummer or something.
All right.
And we kind of hit it off. They were both like Puerto Rican. I wanna say.
All right.
Yeah, very, very cute.
Okay.
Like not total, like they're kind of spinners, we'll say.
Okay, fine.
One of them said she had a child and was married.
Okay.
But like she liked to have fun.
Hey.
And I think we kind of made out a little bit. And then
was the baby
they
with
were like
her?
No,
She had the baby with her. No.
She had gotten a sitter.
The drummer's got the baby, one of those like baby Bjorn things in front of him.
Right. The little bouncy thing.
Yeah,
next
exactly.
To next to the
metronome,
the kit.
Yeah,
playing the triangle.
Yeah.
Maybe. But towards the end of the night, like they were kind of a package deal. They're
Okay.
like, we're kind of sticking together. One of us can't sort of go home with you. And they were just really no bullshit. But I remember the chick was like, "Okay, where do you live?" And I'm like, "Astoria, Queens."
Oh boy.
And they were both like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I even said, I was like, "I will provide." But there was a whole like screen, like, do you have roommates? Like at the time I did, but I'm like, it's cool. I got a private entrance. We can slip in and out. It's fine.
You can just hear their vaginas getting drier and drier.
I think they asked if I had an ensuite or something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was really
Eating
rigorous
exposed brick
breakfast nook.
Yeah, exactly.
And Viking stove.
Yeah.
There and it was one of those things where they were like, yeah, I gotta fuck. I mean, that's kind of far. And I was like, I think I even said, like, I will provide transportation there and back tonight if you want.
Late model Lincoln Town car. You can choose
Mexicana car service.
You can choose the radio station.
The magnet is already on my fridge with the number.
Choice of incense.
Yes.
All right.
I was like, but it was very funny because we sort of like they were just very straight up. Like, we will both fuck you. We're kind of into each other. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were gonna roll me or anything. Like, I knew they were a friend of a friend, and then they were like, man. But it literally just came down to the girl was like, man, I got a kid. Like, I would have to be back so early. It's already 3 a.m. She was like, maybe rain check. It was like we were talking about playing Yahtzee or like game night, but it was just very. But that's an example of you really gotta.
My husband's in the minivan downstairs.
But this was borough to borough, so it was like. So you normally, you know, it's like what you said, where you're at Union Square or whatever, and if you have a place close by, you are at a great advantage.
Yes.
But this was over by where you used to live in Park Slope, all the way to my house.
Yeah, that's far. That's 45 minutes
in a car. Yeah.
In a car.
So it was a big commitment, and I was not insulted that I just didn't quite. Yeah,
you got it. You understood.
I'm like, I get it, man.
So
I get it. Anyways.
Yeah. So to my point, it's kind of like that's what it is. So like this. So the girl was kind of like, so it was like, hey, I'm on my way home, and she was like kind of hanging, and I was just kind of like, hey, you want to come back to my place? And she was like,
love it,
sure. So she did, came back, and like,
so she's playing. You said she's playing pool. Does she have like a big backpack or anything?
No, she was.
Good.
I will tell you this, and I know this sounds like I'm making it up, but she had her own pool stick.
Oh, she had her cue that was like.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think she was. But she was literally. It was something like, okay, it was along the lines of she was in like a pool club or something.
Yeah,
and
like a pool
they had
hall.
all left earlier or something, and now, but she was by herself. I don't know.
Right.
But again, like what you were saying, like she may live with her parents. She may have a roommate. There might be something going on where she was just kind of didn't want to go home for any number of reasons. So we go back to my apartment. You know, and I had a roommate, but it was a big kind of a loft thing, and it was fine. So he didn't give a shit. But go back to my bedroom, and like I remember she was black. Look at me, look at me.
Look at you. With,
she's a very cute little black girl, and
progressive.
But one of these black girls that wasn't. Again, I gotta. Who's that?
Joe DeRosa.
Oh boy, Joe DeRosa.
Joe.
Hey Joe, sorry, sweetheart. But she wasn't like. She was one of these. She was like a black girl you might meet at a Dave Matthews show.
Oh, she was like kind of crunchy black.
Well, or very, and for lack, I'm probably going to like a white black girl.
Yeah,
like,
a little whitewashed.
Yeah, just kind of like a black girl that went to Bennington College or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Bar nerd.
Yeah, but may live in I don't know where the fuck she lived, but she went back to the apartment, and I remember like we're fucking hanging out and we're naked and everything else, and at some point I think I just ejaculated somewhere, and I remember she was kind of annoyed. And then
just ejaculated.
well, I was very excited about the whole thing. Was very exciting.
Yeah.
So then we
was
went,
she like touching it?
Oh
or?
yeah, we were doing stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we
but
were,
it was vague.
It was like a lot of like lights out and doing stuff,
Holy
and
shit.
I think there was a lot of like tugging, and I think I just kind of like I kind of lost the beat there, and
Right, and then
yeah, and but I was, and then she wanted to go to sleep. It was kind of like, all right, we'll hit this in the morning. So I got up in the morning with this girl, and I'm like, okay, well, this is fun, and she didn't want to leave. Like,
she wanted to hang out.
I couldn't like get. I don't know where she. Then I was like, well, maybe she is homeless. Maybe this pool stick is all she has.
I mean, what was the vibe like? I mean,
the vibe was kind of like I got up. I didn't have anything to do the next day.
Sure.
So I was like, all right, I guess we'll go to lunch. We went to lunch. I kept like. I lived right by all these subway stops.
Yeah, that's always a good move when you try to like, because you can't ask a lady to leave. I mean, you could say like,
No.
oh, my mom's coming over or something.
Well,
But
okay.
you should know.
Yeah.
But if you kind of like go off site, then after lunch you can kind of, or brunch or whatever, you can kind of part ways.
Yeah.
Usually,
I was trying to like. I
not
couldn't.
if she's persistent though.
Or also,
Persistent little pool shark.
you can be persistently vague about it, like because what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. Where I couldn't have been like, hey, like when is this one night stand over?
Yeah.
Are we done standing on the one night? Like, are we?
Right.
And and then
Is
of
this
course.
a dalliance? Like, when does this turn into a tryst?
Like
or
4
a-
days later, when
Right.
I'm in Provincetown.
But I mean, that could be good and bad, which makes me think maybe she, you weren't maybe that attracted to her, because normally if it was a girl that you maybe ejaculated on her thigh or something,
Yes.
didn't really finish the job properly the night before, you'd want to probably
you'd
want another crack at it. But the fact that you didn't makes me wary.
I had a morning crack at it again.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And
Okay.
We
Nice.
yes, and we did stuff. We didn't go. We didn't finish the fucking thing, but we did a lot of. I think I probably finished somewhere else on her. Poor girls, like
Different various
like being next to
spots.
like a fucking fire hydrant, and
Jesus Christ.
cum
Yes.
shooting out of me.
On a summer day
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Brooklyn.
It's like, what's wrong with this guy? Take a look at him. He blows his load.
Right. Jesus.
So,
He keeps yelling car.
and I think, yeah,
We got to take a break.
pull the hockey net back in from the
Yes.
street. But I didn't. Okay, so like basically like it was like that. So that happened in the morning, and I was kind of like, all right, well, I was like, you hungry? And she was like, yeah. So we went to
Right.
eat, and then
All this being
afterwards,
ejaculated
but then she
on.
left her stick at my
Oh
apartment.
no!
I know. So I was just kind
and
of
you're like, you don't want to. And that's an awkward thing too, where you're like, you don't want to.
and I knew at that point, I knew she was like planting a flag. Like I knew leaving the stick,
Right.
we were coming back. So
Definitely.
then we came back, and then like we hooked up again. And at this point, I'm just again. I don't know what's like. I couldn't get on top of
Sure.
the action. Like I
Right.
was standing. I was like a seal standing
I
on a
feel
ball.
like the more rapid the ejaculation, the more almost in debt to her you
well,
are.
That's exactly what it
in
was.
terms of like,
Yeah, I didn't know what to
a
do with
place to
myself. Yeah,
sort of
Yeah.
stay.
yeah. So we got into the night, and now it's like
Wow.
I know it's the night, but now it's at the point where like she's wearing the same clothes from the night before.
And has she showered?
No,
no
And
shower.
she's covered in my dried cum at this
Yeah,
point,
and
all
you
over
would
her
think
knees.
you would want to.
I don't know. It got to a point. So finally, at like, and I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't have to do anything. At like 9 o'clock or something, she was like, "All right, I should go." And then I was like, "Let me give you my phone number," and I gave her my wrong phone number. I like wrote it down on a piece of paper.
Gave it you a one digit off.
555-0000.
77777.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
Oh.
give me a call.
Yeah.
If you need something to do, or if you're injured at
Yeah,
at
if-
work.
yeah, if you slipped in a grocery store, give me a ring. She's like, she
We
goes,
got a class action going.
she goes, what's your area code? I'm like, I just wrote my zip code. You'll figure it out. It's one of those numbers. But anyway, so and during the day, I was taking calls from friends of mine. I was like, I'm with this girl. I don't know. She won't leave. Like I was like stuck with her.
Yeah.
For the day. But finally, at a certain point, she did leave because it got to the point where it was like we were at that point like 18 hours into the thing.
Right.
And of course, I felt like I didn't want to shower because then all of a sudden now I'm going to Marshall's and buying her an outfit.
Yeah.
You know, now now she's my ward. Like like
but she offered to leave. Like you didn't have to make something
she
up.
was like at a certain point she kind of like it was like weird. I mean I remember all this like it was yesterday.
Like just very abruptly.
She looked around and she was like
taking my cue.
Yeah. Oh my god. She's like all right,
literally
I guess,
and figuratively.
I guess I should get out of here. And I was like, fucking finally. But no, I was like, oh, well, sorry. I'm like, well, you probably need a change of clothes. And I get it. I was like, let me give my phone number and you call me and we'll do this again. And next time you bring a bag and, we'll really make a weekend of it. Maybe we'll go leave.
I would have been curious at that point and been like, maybe I come to your place next time.
Well, what I think, if I really had to
you bring like
crack
a
it open
babka or something.
I think she alluded to living way out in like Brooklyn,
Gotcha.
and she probably lived with her parents.
Like a day trip almost. Yeah.
She lived with parents and maybe I don't think she was in whatever her situation was. It wasn't like she could have brought me home. So, it was kind of like she met me. I was relatively cute or whatever that even means. And I lived in the area and it was like, all right, let's fucking hang out. Let's burn a day with this guy and just kind of see where it goes. And so,
interesting.
Yeah. And that's what happened with her. So I
wonder what she's doing now.
She and Sigalit are
wandering around Flatbush
in a
probably.
kibbutz. Yeah.
Yes.
What if I
Prospect Park kibbutz?
I know Sigalit Sassoon's full name. I don't remember this girl's name. Really have a hard time.
Probably don't even remember. Isn't it weird when you get to the point where you think back on these stories and you're like, I don't remember anybody's even first name.
Oh no.
A lot of times.
Oh yeah, a lot of times. Although I can tell you, the first girl I ever had a crush on as a kid was Stephanie Redinger. I remember her. You know what I mean? Do you remember the name of the first girl you ever had a crush on?
Sure.
What was her name? Fucking Frank Stallone?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. But but it is funny the things you remember and the things you don't remember. Like I was thinking about like when because I failed 7th grade and I was thinking about failing 7th grade and I was like, that fucking math teacher, her name was Miss McCain. I'll never forget Miss McCain.
Right.
And it's funny because I think about it and I was like, I wonder if she's still alive. And because I'm 50, I was like 30, that was 36, 37 years ago. She could have been, but she seemed old back then, but she could have been fucking 35 years old. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you never know what old teachers were.
Yeah, you have no sort of gauge of.
Yeah.
They could be 70, they could be 20. I mean, I had a health teacher that I think he was like 28.
Yeah.
I mean, he may have been younger than that. Like he was right. I mean, he actually probably was 25.
I had an art teacher named Mr. Diaz, who was this black guy who was dying of AIDS the entire time I had an art with him. Like, he was this black guy.
Excuse me, I'm dying of AIDS.
Pardon me, kid.
Full-blown AIDS.
Make your macrame. Mr. Diaz is have diarrhea like you don't even know.
Right.
Oh, heavens.
Dealing with these sores.
Yes, this is not a racquetball hit, kids. Mr. Diaz gotten some funky dick.
Oh, yes.
But he was this black guy.
Hanging around Broadway, if you know what I'm saying.
I should have worn some sort of protection, but no. Mr. Diaz likes it raw dog.
It was a lot of tearing, kids.
Yeah, so much cum everywhere. I couldn't help but get AIDS. Damn, I was standing in a puddle of it and another puddle of it.
Did you bring the toilet? What would they always say? The paper towel rolls I told you to bring.
Yeah, right. Just like when we're making sock puppets.
Yes.
Just like coughing blood into a napkin.
Yeah.
Diaz got to go lay down and throw up. Y'all just keep making your macrames. No, but I remember because he was super gay, and he wore like, remember like on Scooby Doo when what's the blonde guy's name on Scooby Doo?
The blonde guy?
Yeah, on Scooby Doo.
Oh fuck,
Fred.
Was it Fred?
Yes.
I don't know. He had like the kind of weird bob haircut.
He was like the good-looking. He was like the guy that drove the mystery machine. But he would wear like a handkerchief around his neck, like a kerchief. this guy he dressed like that. He dressed like Paul Lynn or something. Like he would, this black guy, Mr. Diaz, would wear, and he had like a little mustache, and he was, and I remember like, and I didn't know he was dying of AIDS like then and there, but like a couple of years later, like
Fred Jones. Yeah, Fred.
Yeah, what's his last name?
Jones.
Oh, that's very non.
Wow, he was very flamboyant. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, he was with Daphne.
Kerchief. And,
yeah.
Daphne must have been she was definitely a beard.
She was his beard. Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah.
Or Velma? Was it Velma?
Velma was the one with the glasses.
Oh, okay.
Who was always running around with Scooby-Doo. She was like the smart one.
Gotcha.
And then the hot one was the one with the red hair, which I think was Daphne.
She was Daphne.
Yeah. Anyway.
So
anyway, my point is like this guy, like a couple of years later, you sit around with your friends, and I was like, whatever happened to Mr. Diaz? And someone was like, oh yeah, he died of AIDS. Like he died, like he was like the first, like teacher or person, because this was like 86, so it was so long ago. They were like, he died of gay cancer.
Yeah,
right.
Grids they called it.
Grid.
Probably
Really
that's how far back it was.
Yeah,
like we don't know if he got it from sneezing or
Right.
a blood transfusion.
Yeah, when they died, they threw him in a volcano. So he wouldn't, infect anybody else. Yeah, exactly.
That's what they did back then.
They did. They had to take him all the way to, or they covered him with stones and buried him in the bottom of a lake.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just remember Mr. Diaz, but he was another one that. And then I had a wood shop. Remember wood shop?
Oh yeah.
Did you? I bet you did love wood shop. Yeah. The teacher for our wood shop. This was back in the. I feel like in the 80s, the people that taught this classes looked like the class.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak to what it's like now, but
like
there's got to be some of that, right? It's probably a butch lesbian now.
Well, for example, woodshop, the teacher for woodshop was Mr. Nail. Nail.
Interesting.
And he
Mr.
wore
Nail.
like coveralls and a fucking it was like a costume of like a builder. Mr. Diaz is, looked like some dying,
Yeah.
but and our I remember I don't remember his name, but like our gym teacher wore like a whistle,
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
a fucking tight, like a really tight tucked in like a polo shirt tucked into like high-waisted.
Both of my gym teachers that I can remember were caricatures of. I had Miss Hess, who was a butch lesbian with like a fucking crew cut, and then I had Mr. Woodford.
Oh wow!
Which is a great gym teacher name.
Great name.
And he was with the whistle and the windbreaker and tall, lanky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really looked like your subject.
They looked like their subject. It was funny. I wonder if I wonder if it's like chicken or the egg, like you look like that. So
right. How you start to look like your dog.
Yeah, they're like, listen, you gotta the way you look, you teach home ec because
you gotta fit.
Yeah. Like the person who teaches home ec, like has like pearls and like a little frilly apron, like
100%.
Yeah, like everyone looked.
Dude, the home ec teacher in my middle school was the butch teacher's wife.
Did you know that?
Yeah, like it was, or they were like partner. They couldn't be a wife at that
roommates
time. They were like
right, yeah, roommates.
They were
roommates.
What's it called? Like common law roommates.
Right. Roommates in a studio apartment. It's funny. I remember, I don't think kids have home ec anymore, but I remember in my home ec class, it was the weirdest thing because, my school was so old that the school had like a home ec room that had like a kitchens in it and stuff.
Oh, yeah, same. Yeah.
And
I think mine did.
Ours had like a wall, it had like ovens, and then it had like areas where it didn't have like stoves, but it had ovens on the wall, electric ovens. And like, I remember like one of the first things I learned how to do or to make like canapes, as if that's like a school thing. You should.
What's a canape?
A canape is like like for example, Ritz cracker with tomato sauce on it,
right,
and a little mozzarella cheese, and a piece of Hormel pepperoni, and you put it in the oven,
like a little teeny
like
cracker
pizza, like a hors d'oeuvre.
I didn't know there was a fancy name for that.
A canape. A canape is a term. A canape, I believe. God, we're really fucking. Mr. Diaz is spinning in his
home
grave.
ec.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
A canape is a cold hors d'oeuvre. So a canape.
So that's a kind of a blanket term for.
Yes.
Okay.
Although I would say an hors d'oeuvre is a blanket term, and a canapé is a cold hors d'oeuvre.
Has to be cold.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what a hot hors d'oeuvre is, but a hot hors d'oeuvre, that would be like a pig in a blanket is not a canapé.
Right, but let's say I also can't believe we're deconstructing this.
Sorry,
but
everybody.
Would a stuffed olive be a canapé?
Yes,
because it's cold.
Yes, absolutely right.
Blue cheese in there.
Well, probably pimento cheese. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Because you don't want to get the blue cheese all over you, in a little. But like,
right,
like a devil. Do you know what a devil on horseback is?
No.
A devil on horseback is a shrimp wrapped in bacon.
Okay.
Yes, and an angel on horseback. This is white people food. An angel on horseback is a scallop wrapped in bacon.
Oh, I love a bacon wrapped scallop.
Yeah.
Some kind of a drizzle on it, maybe.
Yeah, like the scallop, not so much, but the shrimp. Typically, you'll marinate that shrimp in a little bit of hot sauce and melted butter.
Okay.
And then you would grill it, or maybe just throw it in the oven for a little bit, just to get some color on it, and then you wrap it in the bacon. But I thought I was even back then when I was 12. I thought it was funny that like I'm going to a class to learn how to make like party hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, it was the weirdest. I remember they taught us how to make like these weird fucking like something that came out of a can, like Pillsbury popover.
Yep.
It was like the dumbest. Why would you want to teach a kid to make like the worst thing?
It was almost like they assumed that your parents were divorced, and it was like,
you're assuming this was like latchkey class.
Yeah, like
which they, they weren't.
All right, kids.
In terms of that.
All right,
was
kids.
Free range.
Yeah. Kids, today we're gonna make single mom nachos.
Right.
When
easy cheese. And
right. Yeah. Every recipe.
Jiffy Pop.
Yeah. Every recipe's like Kids, today we're gonna make new dad macaroni casserole. So your mom's gonna make this to show your new dad that she knows how to cook. And right.
New dad casserole.
By the way, she'll never make this for the two of you. Only when there's a guy in the house.
Only when Jim comes.
Yeah.
over.
Exactly. Right.
That
so
fucking asshole with him and his Thunderbird.
Yeah,
you're not my hot shit.
You're not my dad. Yeah. Jim's sitting there. So what? You don't play sports by choice, or you just can't get on a team? I don't know.
Right. Oh,
your mom says you're a bedwetter. Well, maybe you're a bedwetter. Yeah, I wet the bed with cum when it drips out of your mom's snatch.
Oh,
little
Jesus.
faggot.
Yeah, right after I cream pie your mom.
Yeah, exactly. She pushes it out. I make her push it out.
Oh, Jesus.
I go, look at that baby batter. Then I punch her in the face. That's the kind of mother you have. Yeah, I'll have.
This guy's like half Rodney Dangerfield.
I'll have another canapé. Yeah. Hey, Jojo,
you little fucking fruit.
Hey, Jojo, your little faggot son's giving me a devil on horseback. Well, you wrap this shrimp and bacon yourself, you little fruit.
Right.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Your mom and I are going upstairs. It may sound like she's crying. And she is. All right, see you later.
Right.
Yeah. Go play with your Ataris. Yeah. Exactly. So stupid.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
Fucking hurts a little bit. I didn't even have a stepdad, and that stung.
You know what kind of class they should have, though? They should have a class. I was just talking to somebody about this. They should have a class, even now, that teaches people, like kids, like life skills.
Yeah, I do remember some of that because I was in like the real dumb math class.
Yeah, a Ritz cracker pizza is not a life skill.
They taught us how to balance a checkbook.
That's
back
good.
when you had to do that. Now you don't really.
That is.
Yep.
That is.
I don't remember any of it. You know what? They even told us how to do our tax. They showed us how to like do our taxes too, like very basic taxes. And I think I worked at like a grocery store, and I think I brought in my W-2, and maybe they even. Oh. So there was, but you have to be
like remedial,
like
borderline.
What's
retarded?
a word for like worse than like?
Well, not
full on, like a full on like.
Like this was like a life skills
class. You
don't
even know what to do with numbers.
Did you have to, and I'm not being funny here, did you have to get on a bus and go somewhere else for this class?
No, but it was like applied mathematics. But there other dumbos know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's like when you take a run at algebra and they're just like, ooh, this is a little too much math for you, pal. Cowboy.
You know what fucked me up was abstract geometry, which is like that's way before algebra.
Oh, it is.
That's like seventh. It
sounds more complicated.
I know it's seventh grade. It's it's the first stuff where that's what I failed. I failed that. That's what kicked me out of 7th grade again. Is abstract geometry, because I don't really remember what it is, but you know, it's funny. It was, you know, one of my daughters is a junior, and I was in her bedroom last night. She was doing her math homework, and I just said, just for fun, I'm like, "What are you working on?" And she was like, she told me the problem she was working on, and I was like, and she knows that like math is not my forte. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, exactly. Right. I'm more of a jazz and dancer.
Oh yeah.
So she was like, we're taking this circle, and then it was something about like the circumference of this circle, but then, and I was like, and I said, I think I know the answer. She goes, what? I said, 4. I think it's 4. The answer might be 4. And then she actually said to me something that was really smart. She goes, actually, because she was using a calculator when she was doing it.
Right.
And I said, are you allowed to use a calculator? She goes, yeah. She goes, it's not the answer. She's like, there's no answer to this. It's more about just understanding the problem.
Gotcha.
I was like, oh, this is
It's
way
a
above
journey.
It's way above my pay
not
grade.
The destination.
Yeah. I was
okay, well, it's the process, understanding the math, the equation. Maybe.
I was like, what do you think Ricky Schroeder's up to?
But wouldn't there have to be? You would think there would have to be an answer.
There is an answer, but the answer is not the point.
They're not even looking for the answer.
Yeah, it's more a question of understanding how to get. Like you have to show the easy way to say it is you show your work. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like instead of, but like I think getting back to it, I think a class of like or explaining to somebody like what a lease is, or like just kind of like terms that you
interest rates, like basically just warn kids about credit cards,
or something like that, or just some sort of and there probably is a variation of this, but like a life skills class. And I don't care if you're in. You know, if you're in the gifted and talented program, or if you're with you or whatever, that should just be a class everyone has to take. And also like maybe basic first aid in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I remember doing something like that in gym.
Hey, by the way,
like learning CPR.
Yeah, making out with a mannequin behind a dumpster after school is not CPR. You're my girlfriend.
Learned that the hard way.
Yeah, no. I'm
gonna laughed at me when we showed up to the formal.
I'm gonna carve a hole in your side and fuck your belly.
Yes.
I'll make you.
But I think the math.
I wish you were a real girl.
I think the math thing and the taxes and the balancing the checkbook. I think that was just my math teacher sort of almost taking it upon himself and being like, I'm gonna. I think he was maybe getting creative or just very practical with it.
Did he have a terrible comb over, and did you wear a flannel shirt with the one button up, topped up, and there was like he's like, hey, you're a vato. I'm doing an Edward James Olmos.
Okay,
version, right?
I will tell you, he was like a real punny, like real bad sense of humor, bad sweater, and like crunchy LA looks hair. Like he,
all right.
His name was like Mr. Matthews, just something very regular.
You kids, when you got to do less gang banging and more W-2 filling outing.
Right. But he had like math material. Like he had stock puns.
Okay.
I can't remember any of them, but he was like really out of a movie.
Okay. That's cute.
Yeah. Or like a Mike Judge movie.
And by the way, he probably looked like a remedial math teacher.
100%. Like he taught everything, but he was just slumming it. This was just one of his class. This was like community service, basically.
You think he's in the teacher's lounge and he's like smoking a cigarette and he's like, I gotta go deal with the retards now.
Yeah.
I think today I'm gonna teach him how to buy eggs.
Right.
Guys, kids, when you get to the carton, open it up, see if they're cracked.
Right.
And 12 is a dozen. Baker's dozen's 13. I don't know why. Something to do with the apostles.
Right.
All right. Anyway, the real kids need me in about an hour.
Right,
but yeah, one of you kids want to practice drawing.
Warm up.
One of you kids want to practice drawing 8s on the blackboard? Give me some 8s, real pretty 8s.
Yes. It was just called condescending.
Yeah.
Math.
Yes, Timmy. The 8s look like
barely math.
Yeah, it looks like race cars. The race car track. That's what an 8 looks like. All right, I'm gonna be up here doing my stories. Yeah, he's up there writing Battlestar Galactica fan fiction longhand.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
My goodness gracious. So what I was gonna tell everybody, and then we'll check in because I know.
Perfect timing.
And then, but I tomorrow, and I know we do these shows to be evergreen, but for those of you who, by the time you hear this on the podcast, I've actually been.
It's happened.
It's my last show ever. I've gotten out of this podcast game. 12 years in, I finally, it's all paid off. I can finally, I wonder if I can return these Klieg lights. Anyway, I'll try to make the story short, because it's not really that compelling, but like essentially about 2 weeks ago, I got, there's a casting director who reached out to me from Los Angeles and basically asked me if I would be interested in auditioning for a television pilot. And I said, damn, what the fuck do I care? Sure. Now, bear in mind, even though I went to NYU for theater, acting, whatever it is.
Sure.
I haven't done anything remotely resembling this in easily 10 years. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm on the bench. I felt like Robert Redford in The Natural.
Yeah,
just kind of like, I was like, what? So I got the audition. They sent me the sides. The sides are the words you read, right? For those of you who aren't in the union. And then I had to memorize them. And then this is all happening in Los Angeles. I live in New York. And so I used my phone. And actually, my friend Bruce, thank you, Bruce. We all know Bruce, recorded me in my audition.
Was Bruce actually here?
He's back and forth a lot.
Oh, so Bruce was in town.
Yes. He was living
Wow, he helped you do a self-tape.
He happened to be in the area. I don't really know how it came up. Yeah. So, did that. I did that. I send it into these people. I never hear back from them. Okay, that's fine. I didn't. You forget about it. You only, for those of you who don't audition for this kind of shit, you never hear unless you get it. You know what I mean? You're never going to get a phone call. They're like, hey, we're not going to use it.
It's like a second date.
Yeah,
They're not going to call you and tell you why.
Right. So, like 2 days after that, I get an email from the casting director, and they're like, hey, the director liked your audition, but they want you to read for another part. And this time, you can improvise a little bit. Have some fun with it.
Make it your own.
Make it your own. It's exactly what they said. So this time, which frankly is better for me, I feel like I'm at least more comfortable, or at least I feel like I'm better at that. So, all right. So now it was a different part, and I did it, and I improvised a little bullshit at the end, and I tried it because this thing is sort of it is a comedy. And then so I did that, and then I forgot about it. I wake up the next day, and I check my email, and I have a offer email from the production company. So I am going to Albuquerque, New Mexico tomorrow for a week to shoot a television pilot for this. So it's a pilot. A pilot is a kind of it's one episode of a television show. So I'm shooting this all next week. So tomorrow morning at the fucking crack of dawn, I am getting on a plane, going to Denver, and then from Denver going to Albuquerque, and then I'll be there for 7 days.
Why you got to be there for 7 days?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know. It's a lot.
Sounds like a meaty role.
I play a robot who wants only to love. Mm-hmm. Yes. But also is murderous. A murderous, horny robot. Yeah. So that's it. So it's kind of wild because, like I said, it fucking dropped.
Yeah, you weren't like
it dropped out of the sky.
You weren't chomping at the bit.
No.
But you can maybe talk about it more later. But it's a role that.
Yeah,
you fit.
It has to do with the vision thing and everything. I mean, look, I'm not saying it because I'm not.
I didn't know. Maybe you didn't want to get
an NDA or something. Although, I think I did sign. It's a union. Here's what I can tell you. It's a union thing, so it's a SAG thing. I got a bunch of paperwork that I had to fill out. Like it's all very real. Like it's not like
my math teacher helped you fill out the paperwork.
The math teacher, right?
Mr. Matthews helped
with his weird perm. Yeah, it's perm.
No, it was straight. It was straight and crunchy.
Okay, fair enough. But and I will tell you this: it was funny because the production company was like, "We need to talk to your manager or your agent." I don't even have a manager or an agent.
Right.
So shout out to Eddie Ift. I actually reached out to Eddie. I reached out to a couple of different friends of mine who are in show business.
Well, you think Hollywood? You think.
When you
think Eddie Ift.
Yeah, he's at a table at the Brown Derby for 30 years.
They don't call him Hollywood Eddie Ift.
Yeah, right. What do you need, kid?
because he lives in Tulsa.
Yeah, he's got a rotary phone like on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm gonna put you in the pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get some chili from Chasen's, and we'll talk about the 3-picture deal.
Right.
Right. Rita Hayworth is a little long in the tooth now. It's all about Lena Horne. So I reached out to some friends of mine who would have managers, agents, blah, 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 blah. And Eddie was the one who came back, and he was like, his sister is a talent agent. I didn't even know that. And so he put her in touch with me, and she's been really great. So she's like done the whole thing for me, gotten the paperwork for me, and that was it. So that's what I'm doing. So out of nowhere, I will have more details on this thing. I had my first table read a couple days ago, which is where you're on a Zoom call with, there are 13 other actors in this thing. One person is coming from Australia. Most of the people are coming in from Los Angeles, and the whole thing shoots in Albuquerque, although I believe the pilot is set in Phoenix. There you go. So that is that. Like I said, if you would have talked to me a week and a half ago, I would have, none of this was even a thing, but that's what I'm doing. So there you go. So I'll keep everybody posted on that. And I'm so demoralized in anything. And so I immediately was like, all right, they cast me, but then they're going to Google me and be like, oh, this guy got kicked out of Equinox. We can't have him.
You think that's on the...
I don't know. I don't
think that's on the internet.
It isn't, but something along those lines could be.
They'd have to have access to the database.
I've done pornography, women's wrestling.
What are you going to do?
I'm not saying it. I think it would be shitty, but I mean,
the nice thing is you did that stuff long enough ago, because there have been times where we've been looking for things that you did, and I mean, like, in order to find stuff, I mean, I had to like subscribe to things and then screen record it, and so it's not like super accessible. So you got that in your face.
Yes, I do. Although they went on my IMDb page, and my IMDb page, well, it has this labeled on it. And then it has Tara Patrick's porn star pool party.
Got you. Okay, yeah.
But that's all. But I mean, again, look,
that's kitschy enough.
It's fine. Listen, it's okay. It's not like I came up as a member of like the Stormtroopers or something, or So it's all good. So we're doing that. So I'm going to Albuquerque tomorrow. First thing I did was I Googled Albuquerque strip clubs to see what's good.
You gotta
check out
Desert Strip, Green Chili strip clubs.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They're. It was funny, this one place, because I just, I do love secondary market strip clubs, and I was looking at one place in Albuquerque. I can't remember the name. I think it's actually called TD's, what the TD stands for. Better that than VD. Fucking shut up. Hey. And I was reading Google reviews, and this one Google review, I love Google reviews of strip clubs. If you've never done it, you got to like go.
Oh, God, I've read a couple.
They're fucking great, because number one, anybody who's reviewing a strip club is fucking hilarious.
Probably not going there for the same reasons.
Well, we might be. And they're also doing it because they want usually it's like there's one of two things. They're either somebody who had a weird bad experience and they just want to tell the world, or they go there all the time and they're hoping that somebody at the club knows it's them, and they're doing the club a favor. Some guy at this New Mexico strip club was like, he was like, hey, Bianca, like Dynasty, Diamond, and Cheyenne.
Oh, he's shouting out
I wish I could take all of you home with me, LOL.
To the main stage.
Yeah, but no, he wanted to take him home. He made it abundantly clear in his Yelp review.
Like
his Google review. He's like, why won't you come home with me? Ha, ha, ha. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Why won't you come home with me?
Drop the order of protection.
Yeah, right. Why are you all such cunts? But anyway, so I did. But then another review I saw of the Google review of the Albuquerque strip club was some guy goes, it's a great $10 private dance in the champagne room. I was like, oh, it sounds like good bargain. It's a bargain. I don't know.
Value at any price.
$10 in Albuquerque could be $50 here. So I'll keep everybody posted.
That was what the dances were in my hometown strip club when I visited when I was like 21 or 22.
Was it the same type of dance as you'd get at Gallagher's?
I think so. I didn't actually get one, but because I went to high school with all the strippers, but
right.
But
right. Mr. Diaz, I know. I came back from the dead.
Don't get too close.
No.
Let's say hi to some folks, and then we'll
do the
go
towels in the bathroom.
He's
Yeah.
Mr. Diaz is the bathroom attendant in
it's
a
good.
small market strip club
Yeah,
in
good
Minnesota.
night. Good night tonight. Lots of players up in here.
Oh, hey, player.
Hey, what's up, player?
Get your
Ooh.
Altoid.
You want to take a
Hustler.
Give us a courtesy flush, why don't you, please? Mister, the age burned out my nose, but I can still I can taste it on my lips.
Right. Teddy says, "Hey Adam, what's got you laughing?" Oh, hey Adam, what's got you laughing, Brian?
Fucking. We've got you on Albuquerque. What are you gonna have? Tortilla chips in your fucking soup? Shut up. Go ahead. I hope you don't do crystal meth all
Go ahead. Fuck yeah.
Apparently, by the way, they make a lot of TV in New Mexico for the tax breaks. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that was why they didn't, because I think Breaking Bad. I think they were going to shoot in like Riverside. It was supposed to be set in like Riverside, California originally, and then they couldn't because of fucking California and all the bullshit. And then they were like, "We're moving to New Mexico."
Hey, all right, there you go.
Teddy wants you to come to MLC. We'll make that happen when you.
All I can do is say I'll do it.
Maybe when you get back,
sure.
And tell us all about your experience.
Just pick me up from soccer practice.
Brock Lee, same thing. Nick says, "What is up?" He does the clips. What's up, Nick?
Hey Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
All right.
Adam Soundboard says, Can you tell the story of the little girl who used to go to Germany and spoke like German when she got back?
Oh,
Mr. Brian have pancakes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Mr. Brian.
Yeah, just so okay, super quick. I mean, I'll indulge this just because you asked, so I will. So my friends of ours, the mother's German and the father's not, but when they would send their kids every summer to Germany to live with the grandparents. You know, they live in the I don't know, the fucking Black Forest or something.
Sure.
And
yeah.
all the kids are like blonde, blue eyes. They look like fucking, you know, like
sure.
German
Aryan wet dream.
Yeah, you'd see him on a poster in 1941.
Sure.
You know,
Yes.
yeah, standing on a pile of skulls.
Mm-hmm.
And the one little girl, she would always go and she would come back. And when the kids come back, they would have like German accents for like a week or two. And my old apartment had 2 stories. And the little girl, she loved like meat and she loved to eat. She still does. She's still like, this kid's still in our life. You know, she's still friends with one of my daughters. And so this one time she comes back, she's like 6 years old and I'm downstairs and I hear, Mr. Brian. And I look up my stairs and she's got her hands on her hips. She goes, yeah, und pancakes for me, yeah? You make pancakes for me, yeah? And I was like, yes, jawohl.
Okay,
jawohl. Right away, mein
Liebchen.
Yes. So anyway, so that was it. Yeah, I like sausages. And I remember another time we were doing a barbecue because they would come back and then Labor Day we'd go to their house and we'd cook and we were in the barbecue. She goes, Mr. Brian, you're going to make steak? I like steak.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was great. Anyway, so that's the story.
I love a young German child.
Right.
Any child with an accent, any kind of accent is great.
I always used to make the joke when you meet like a little kid from France. You go, "How do they teach them French at such a young age?" People go, "No, they're because they're." I know. I'm just fucking around. Give me a fucking break.
Shout out to Julian. Nick says, "I'm Latino. Boobs do nothing for me."
See, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, I guess the Latino folks. Boobs were my first love, so I will never forget them. I love tits, even though I'm known as being a ass guy too.
You can't. There's no getting over.
I love it all. I love all the ladies.
There's no getting over a great rack.
Oh my God.
I know.
Nothing like it.
And I don't think anybody likes to be titty fucked. But
wait, what? You don't think anybody likes to be?
I don't think. Yeah. I don't think people. I don't think it's like I've never actually met a. Although I mean, I've done it for a million years. But when I was a kid, I would always do it. And I feel like it's a lot to like straddle some girl and like you know.
It's good to get them if they're. God, I can't believe we're getting into the sort of the nuts and bolts of this.
Of titty fucking?
But the straddle thing is a bit more of a production. But if you can get them where they're kind of hanging near you anyways.
Yeah, those are some flapjacks though.
Yeah, I like busty ladies.
Yeah.
No, they don't have to be. You can do that with a nice C cup.
From across the room. Wrap your dick like a boa constrictor.
Yeah, you just kind of get up against them because they're already kind of coming at you. So you just kind of get in there.
I like it because I like to rub my asshole on the skin just below their tits. You know, just show them who's boss.
Yeah, all right.
Give them a little shit stain above their belly button.
Okay, ooh, a little hash mark.
Yeah.
Yikes! But yeah, love the tits. Rohi says Brian is the most underrated podcaster of all time.
Holy shit. You know
Wow,
what? I was just
Rohit.
saying that to the mirror before the show.
He was, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He said, I'm good enough. I'm smart
Hopefully
enough.
you're
Jimmy
on-
I says, what about Kate Meany as a guest? She lives close, I think. Yeah, she does live. It's Kevin Meany. I don't even know her. It's Kevin Meany's daughter. She worked at the comic strip.
Dude, I
know
used
her
to
from-
fucking drink with Kevin Meany. Kevin Meany and I used to hang out all the time.
Oh, so maybe we should have Kate. That would be fun. And she does live on the Upper East Side. So we
Yeah,
could,
yeah.
I mean, she could come on.
Yeah, I used to get fucked up at the Friars Club with Kevin Meany.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is when he was. This is before he was gay. I mean, he was
Sure.
clearly always
yeah,
gay.
yeah. No, he turned.
But
turned at
and then
one
I
point.
ran into him once at Gallagher's. Yeah, I have like
Gallagher's.
yeah. Well, no, not that guy.
Oh,
The steakhouse.
Gallagher's
Gallagher's.
Steakhouse,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I have active like memories of Kevin
Okay,
Meany.
so maybe that could be fun. I'll ask.
Oh,
her
and
if
I
she
do
wants
have one more thing I do want to talk about super quick before the show, but we'll get to it really quickly. But
Okay.
Anyway, what do you got? We're just doing a big
Hi,
show.
we'll just say hi to everybody. Hi, DJ.
What's up, DJ?
Mark Innes.
What's up, Mark Guinness?
Keep up the good. He says, "Keep up the good work, boys."
Yep.
And that's a quote from Donnie Mahoney.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know
but
who that is.
I don't know.
From maybe that's Mahoney.
By the
from,
way, not to be a shithead, but if you
Police
like the
Academy?
show, I hope you're on the Patreon because
yeah,
it's fucking
patreon.com/
it's
Brian McCarthy.
It's super cheap and there's a ton of show on there. So I mean,
hello to Decline Host. Hello to Nick. Hello to Jake. Oh, Jacob says, Brian, maybe you get in contact with OVO Cool Cat while you're in Albuquerque. That's a listener of MLC. He came on the show. I think we met him.
I think I know who you
I
mean.
don't know if that was in the Brian McCarthy era or not, but I remember meeting him at the comic strip.
Is that the guy that stole Dislabeled on YouTube?
No.
Okay. I don't know. Well, listen, I'm on this. If you know this guy, I'll be checking my social media while I'm there. So
if you want to shoot a message on Patreon,
yes,
he'll get it. Or
yes.
Yeah.
So you can do that too.
Julian says, ask Brian to call Joe DeRosa back.
How funny was that, right?
And
he told me a great story. Yeah, we had dinner yesterday. I can't. He'll get pissed off if I say it. But
that's
anyway.
it.
That's it. All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
what's
but
your thing?
So super quick. So and Ted will get a kick out of this because there's like an English thing element to it. So do you know what a barber jacket is? BARBOUR. They're okay.
Yeah, I think I do.
It's a wax cotton English jacket. Although now the cotton is made with Hungarian cotton. Don't get me started. And they have the big
Can you
quarter.
imagine?
They have the big corduroy collars, and they have names like Beaufort and Beaumont, and they're English hunting jackets, right?
Okay.
And they're popular. They're not incredibly expensive. They're expensive, but they're not insane. They're $400 or $500, and they're made with wax cotton. Sometimes they have game pouches in the back. So a big zipper. You can put like quail and shit in the back of them. So anyway, I've had one for about 25 years, and what you do is periodically you have to send it. The store that sells all that hunting crap is called Orvis, Orvis, and Orvis sells these, and so. Once every couple of years, the jacket will have to get holes in it, so you have to get it repaired. So you get it, you send it to Orvis or barber, and what they do is they'll go around the jacket and they'll see where the holes are and they'll re-wax and they kind of fix it up, they clean it up. So anyway, it has been a long time since I've done that with my barber jacket. So this past year, I was like, I'll get my jacket because there's a barber store over here right by my house on Madison Avenue. So I happened to I was like, I should get this jacket because at a certain point, it's not waterproof anymore. And this is really, the jacket's super fucked up. It has holes all over the thing. So, and actually it's insanely, so I brought it into barber. They go around with it. They mark hole. And they say, okay, it's going to be this amount of money to get it fixed. I'm not even going to tell you how much I'm spending to get the stupid jacket fixed. It's like twice the. I could just get
got to mortgage the house.
I could get 2 new jackets for the price I'm paying, but
okay,
whatever, it's fine.
interesting.
Well, because I like the history of the thing.
Yeah.
It adds to the patina of the garment.
Of course,
if
I
you
love a
will.
good patina.
Yes. So then
I
2
have
days.
a cousin patina.
So 2 days ago, I called barber because I'm like, they've had it for 7 weeks, and they don't send them back to England, and also mine is old enough where it was all made in England. I think the newer ones are probably made, like I said, for some reason in Hungary. Who cares? Anyway, so they've had the jacket for 6 weeks or so, maybe even 7 weeks, and I think they said it would take about 2.5 months. So I was like, maybe I'll get an update because I know they take it. They don't fix it on Madison Avenue. They take it and they send it up to I think Maine. Anyway, so I call the store and this guy picks up the phone. And he's like, barber near Madison Avenue. And I go, hi, my name's Brian McCarthy. I said, I'm just calling to get an update on my jacket. And this guy sounded very, very gay. Nothing wrong with that. And he goes, what's your name?
Everything right with that.
Everything.
I would
with that.
argue.
Yeah. He was like, literally, he was like, and so he goes, what was your name? I said, Brian McCarthy. And he goes, did you ever manage a Club Monaco downtown? I said, what do you mean, the clothing store Club Monaco? He goes, yeah. I said, no, I have never managed a Club Monaco downtown.
That might be the gayest question
Right.
that's ever been asked.
And he goes, oh, because I had a manager who worked at Club Monaco, and his name was Brian McCarthy. And just out of nowhere, I couldn't help myself, and I just went, well, you must be really good looking because they only hire the hottest guys to work at Club Monaco.
I just realized why you're telling this story now. Yeah. And I'm glad that I didn't
just out of nowhere.
They always,
and all of a sudden,
the hottest guy.
Yeah, he goes.
He was like, wait, did you just do something gayer than me?
Yeah.
Did you just out gay me in this game of gay chicken?
And he just went, oh. And
he went up a gay octave.
And he goes, let me see if your jacket's here. And he goes, just hold on. And then he goes and he comes back and he goes, no, it's not here. And all
Wait, did he laugh or anything, or just said
no? He was like, all right. And then he goes,
you're cheeky
he goes, are you on Instagram?
Stop.
And all of a sudden I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So
he thinks.
I go, yes. And by the way, just so that the audience, either listening or watching, doesn't think I'm making this up, go on my phone, okay. Please. Go on my Instagram account and look at my messages.
Please. Yes. Oh God.
So.
Oh God.
I said, yeah, I'm on Instagram. I said, I'm Brian M. Show. And as I'm saying Brian M. Show,
so much.
It dinks and it comes right up and it's like I'm being followed by this guy.
Wait, hold on, I got from the messages. Okay.
I don't have very many messages, so it's maybe.
Does it start with a D?
I believe so. Burn through a couple of them. You might as well just say the name. It doesn't really matter. I mean,
hold on, because there's a Derek.
No, that's not Derek.
No. Ant. Oh, okay.
Tap that one.
Oh, he says you're handsome too. Smiley face.
Yeah. So that's what he said.
And that was at Tuesday. That was on Tuesday, 11:54 a.m.
Oh, and then look at the next one.
And then no response until yesterday, 11:36 p.m. Hey, with 2 Y's.
Yep. And then
so he's like,
and then I think I got
he was lonely at night.
And then I think I got another one at 2 a.m. I think.
Not from him.
Okay, fair
enough.
I'm not trolling the
Oh my God, I'm looking at him. Wow, he's kind of a chubby.
Yeah. Well,
ethnically nondescript, but I would say like
Dominican maybe or something. I don't know. Oh. Anyway, so yeah. So the point is I by mistake I really heavily flirted with the guy that works at Barber.
Oh, he's in a relationship.
It doesn't mean a damn thing for me.
All the good ones. Am I right?
No, I'll grab that fucking. I'll titty fuck him.
Oh, he's got actually some kind of cute lady friends. Might need you to pursue this.
All right, I'm amenable. You know what? Let's have some fun with him. Can we message him right now?
Can I just please write back, "Hey yourself" or "Hey is for horses"?
Why don't we do this? Right back.
All right, what do you got?
Right
what do you got?
Okay.
What's got you laughing?
Right back. Hey yourself. You should come do my podcast.
Okay.
We can talk about whatever comes up. LOL. Okay. Is that too much?
Do you actually want this guy to come over and do your podcast?
Sure, why not? You'll be here.
I have no problem with it.
No, we can all fuck each other. It'd be totally straight.
I mean, worst case
Yeah,
scenario.
exactly.
Hey yourself. How about crazy idea?
How about this? We are talking about you right now on my podcast. You should come do it.
Okay. Hey yourself. I'm gonna do then a smiley face.
Okay. Eggplants. Put some eggplants in there. A black fist.
This guy's gonna show up like head to toe in leather with a fucking ball gag in to your front door. I'm gonna be like, you don't mind dogs, do you?
No, right.
I hope you don't mind dogs.
He brings his own tarp.
We've got ham and touch.
Yeah, we're gonna get there's gonna be.
Okay, I'll do this once we
just do it right now, really quick.
Okay,
just super quick, and then we're done. That's the show.
funny thing. We're talking about you on my podcast.
You
Right
should
now.
you should come do it. It would be fun. Let me know. I don't want to. Maybe I'll cool off on all the gay stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead this guy on too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking. Right.
Because now I'm saying do the podcast. Because it might be fun to have a gay guy
and there's a link to your thing, right?
Exactly.
I'll finish it with link in bio.
Yep. We're making it more professional now. So maybe I can mend fences with Ian Findance, and the two of them can 69 each other at the end of my dining room table.
Yeah.
And then I'll take the table and throw it in the East River, where it will kill any remaining aquatic life.
Okay.
All right. So we sent it to him, right?
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Big free show today, guys, because we didn't do one last week.
I love you.
I know.
Haley. What did you say? The hottest guy.
Yeah. I was
What
just,
a weird. This is like the equivalent of like we met because I called the wrong number.
it's like
almost.
party line or something.
Oh, this is fucking great.
I just think it was funny when he was like,
You're handsome too. Like he was down and then he wrote you late at night.
yeah.
I mean, not late at night, but like,
Yeah.
11:30.
Like rolling around like, let me see
He was
what
in
this,
his sweats.
Yeah. Let me see what this trick is up to. I know. Well, listen, God bless him. And by the way, all I can
bless
say is I'm flattered. Because, anyway.
Julian says, "Laugh my ass off." Classic Brian McCarthy. Couldn't agree more.
All
That's
right.
very much.
Yeah.
My girlfriend. I don't know if I ever told you, but she really enjoys all the stupid shit that you do. I can't
no
wait
kidding.
to tell
Oh,
her
good.
this.
All right.
Like her favorite thing is the how you got kicked out of Equinox. And I told her about like the unchecked bareback, and she just she loves that.
Well,
so I can't wait to tell her.
All right, guys. Well, to be continued. All right. Well, I'm glad everyone had a good. I'm glad you had a good time. I've got to go pack for Albuquerque.
Stupid. All right.
Everything I have is cactus proof.
Yeah.
So that's it. Patreon, blah blah blah, and we'll see you not next week, unfortunately, because I'll be gone. But
you're going to be gone
the
still.
week
All right.
after.
Well, we'll
so
figure something out.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be checking in on social media from Albuquerque.
Right,
so
right.
follow that Brian M show if you want.
Right.
Bye. See you.